Okay, so let's just go ahead and stand up and get comfortable. You don't need your music. And just put your weight evenly on your feet. Have your feet hip width apart. Just kind of move around a little bit in your space so you feel like you're standing centered. All right. Good. So let's just go ahead and do a little stretch. We're going to do an opposition. So we're going to reach one arm up and one arm down. Always within what is right for your body. Always. And then we're going to go the other way. Excellent. And actually take a breath while you're there. So whether you're leaning or not leaning, just take a breath. Feel with that space there. I should have had to do that on the other side. Let's go back to the other side. So take a breath and feel that breath. You're stretching it. Might feel different. Great. Round, if you can, round your upper back and relax your head forward and push your arms out a little. So what I want you to feel is kind of a little C in your back here. Because we're going to be doing a lot of being upright here. So give that a little break for a moment. And then relax that. And then the opposite is to roll your shoulders back and do a little stretch this way if you can, or here. Open your chest out. And then lift your nose slightly to the diagonal. Just give a little stretch, open out or on behind you if that feels good. And then the same thing I did in the class before rehearsal, we're going to roll the shoulders from front to back. You can exaggerate. Let that head go if that feels good. Really release your traps. And then go the other way. Let's see if we can get some freedom in there. Because then we want to keep a nice lifted posture. So when we're standing or sitting, we want to have this nice and open. We want to watch that we're not rounding the shoulders because you're holding the music. And then leaning the head. And then singing into your music. And pretty soon, well, where's your breath? It's nowhere good, I can tell you that. So let's just keep it up. And, you know, it's very exhausting to hold music. I know that. I have had a lot of issues with my upper back. Actually, 2019 is where something we did leading up to that last concert, and I was in. Teach yourself to switch hands. Lean it on the pew if you're sitting or something like that. But I do need you to prop it up as much as you can, so that you don't do this. You don't want to get in that habit. And assuming whatever your vision correction is, you can look down as opposed to putting your head down. Right? So just kind of some things to think about. So we're going to stay nice and lifted. Now let's just go ahead and put your hands on your belly. And your knees are soft. And just take a nice big breath into your belly. And then exhale. And see if you can keep the breath from going into your chest. So actually, let's put one hand on your chest. And see if you can sense that we're not going to go like this. Right? Let that hand go up. And let's see if we can allow the lower hand to expand while the upper hand just stays still. Take that breath in again. Wow. That was motionless. That was incredible. Okay, great. I could do breathing with you all day, but we're not going to do that all day. All right, so now let's put some hands on your ribs, on your lower ribs. And now let's see if we can take that lower body breath and allow the ribs to extend out. Or if you can't do that with your arms, just sense it. So take a breath in and exhale. You can feel that in your body. So breathing in. The ribs are expanding, low rib let's take a breath in, and we're going to expand those ribs. Keep them expanded. Exhale while they're still expanded until they can't stay expanded anymore. So as you're exhaling, we're gonna keep them out. If you sensed that, if you're at that point in your breath awareness. Now I was talking in my class today about the fact that we're all at different points in our awareness and ability to control our breath. So if you can't feel anything there, try to focus on getting the breath in the low body first and getting it out of your chest and out of your shoulder, upper back, right? So it's not that the lungs don't go from top to bottom. Obviously they do, right? But we want to engage the lower body as much as we can. So as you're breathing in, if you're ready for the ribs, you're going to breathe into the ribs again. Keep them there. Exhale. Keep them out. Until you exhaled all your air. You can't keep them out anymore. It's just they're gonna naturally come back to their resting position. What I find is that as I'm resisting and I'm keeping my space open here, I feel this engaging more when I get to the end of my breath. You may feel that as well. Okay? Great. So that's all I want to do on breath today. I want to thank you all for being here while Debbie is gone. And we have a lot of music that she is hoping we will cover today. So we're going to vocalize first, but I want to go ahead and do that from the piano. If you can still stand, great. Sit if you need to. I know I'm not as visible from that point, but I'd like to use the piano. So let's go ahead and start with an ah, and we're going to just do an easy little warm-up. We're going to keep that tongue in the front of your mouth, and we're going to be touching the back bottom teeth, and we're going to toggle the tongue from an ah position to an e position. So the tongue is a little bit lower, and then the E, the tongue, mid-tongue comes up a little bit to make the E. Now I can't see your mouths, any of you, you're all in your masks, but you don't need a huge open space to do this, but you also don't need to clamp down to make an E. So, I don't know if you can see it, but if we have an ah, what a lot of us do, and I'm sure you've already talked about this because I've missed a few of your rehearsals already, so I don't know what all you've covered, but if you're in your ah position, we want to just let the tongue the tongue is moving, not the jaw. And it's not going from ah to e to ah, e to ah, e. There are variations of what you'll have to do depending on the words that you have to sing, but that's kind of a great way to start isolating the two vowels and training your tongue to do so much more work and your jaw to do so much less work. We want your jaw mellow as much as possible because it's got enough to do making your consonants, helping you out with all of that. So we want to get the tongue really working for you and not against you. So just a reminder about that if you've already heard that. So let's do that. We're going to just do some nice, easy warm-ups starting on an ah and coming down 5 steps. Sing whenever I'm warming down, and the same thing when I'm warming up. I try to go a little higher than I'm going to have to sing. So whatever my lowest note in the piece I'm working on or the session I'm going to work on, I don't know that you're going lower than an F sharp at all in this concert. So that's what I took you to today. I haven't analyzed it though. I went through everything the other day, but I don't remember. Here we go. We're going back to the starting point. It's just a very simple warm-up. Like, I'm not trying to tax your brain right here. I want you to really get in touch with your voice and your breath and your posture. That's it. And let that voice warm up nice and thoroughly, and that's it. So no worries. Here we go. Good, so that's a D. So let's just start at that D, and let's do a little siren. Ah! Everyone try that. Ah! That's it. So we're not going to go too low, right? But I like, Julie immediately used her arm, which I do a lot, and I'd love for you all to do that too. So let's have everybody on that side. Oh, I can't tell. Everybody use your right arm, and then switch to your left. I guess I don't want you to hit each other, but I'm notorious for getting it wrong when I'm facing. All right, so we're going to go, ah, like that. Okay. We're going to start on this, kind of on this note, right? So just slide down the voice, but we're not going to settle in too low because I actually want to inch you up, right? So don't grind into the low part. I just want to feel, I want you to feel that slide, that ease in your voice. Here we go. Now we're going to imagine we're a little higher. We're going to sort of start here. Right, you're switching arms, so that should have been your left. And let's go back. We'll coordinate the choreography here. So right arm first. Here we go. Right arm. And left arm. Just an ah, beautiful ah. Left, which right arm is now. I love it. Next arm, left arm. Higher and higher, higher and higher. Sorry, I overshot it. I'm a soprano, sorry. I'm not sorry. All right, we're going to come back to those high notes in a moment. I want you to feel good about your high notes. I want people to feel confident about all your notes, right? So one of the things that helps you enjoy your singing is a goal that was mentioned earlier today, which is feeling confident about what's going to come out of your mouth when you start to sing, right? So I want you to feel good about all your notes, your high notes and your low notes, and not have an overriding fear of any particular part. Now, it's true that there are different parts of the voice that are sticky for each of us. And I remember for years, boy, the D. The D, the dreaded D. Couldn't get it. And also the G. Just torture. Oh, my goodness. So it takes a lot of work to overcome those sticky spots. And what I like to do is, and I suggest you try this in your warm-ups at home, which I hope you do some warm-ups at home during the week. Some little baby scales like what I just did, just 5-note scales, warm yourself up. Try and do a little bit every day. If you do that, when you get here, you're going to just begin to automatically feel more confident because you've been listening to yourself. So when you're in a group, it's awesome, and there's a beautiful energy that we have here as a group, but sometimes it's hard to hear ourselves. So do take the time to actually listen to yourself, and if you're really brave, record yourself and listen to it. Don't just record it. But that might be too far. It might be too far. I recommend it highly, but I want to encourage you to fall in love with your voice. Fall in love with your voice, fall in love with your instrument, fall in love with your process, because we're all in our own place in the process. And the goal is to love ourselves into the next place and not hate ourselves or beat ourselves. Oh, you gotta do it better. Oh my God. No, that's not
That's not going to work. I would really encourage you to play with that, play with your own sound as much as you can. And also, of course, if you have the opportunity to warm up on your way over here, it will also just give you a little bit, more, your voice will just be more ready and happier when you get here. Sometimes we'll do longer warm-ups and sometimes it'll be shorter. So just give yourselves that little bit of advantage if you can. Now, if you can't, I want to say one thing. If you can't, like you are working somewhere or, you're walking and, or however you get here or you're somewhere, there's little things you can do like, yeah. So you can actually get your voice going quite privately if you need to and keep it going, all right? So those are just little something. Your ribs here. So just feel that spot where we laugh. So let's do a ha. So take a big breath. Ha. Make sure you breathe in first. So breathe in. Ha. Ha. Feel it in your body. Ha. Now, you can do it with just your throat. There's no action, all right? I want you to do it from your gut. This is your belly laugh, all right? So here we go. Ha. Let's go. Ha. 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 Yeah, so very structured laugh. All right, so let's do a higher laugh. Ha, ha, ha. Yes. Ha, 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 ha. Yeah, are you feeling that? Yeah. Okay, so we're going to do an exercise using that. Now, what I found is that when we do this a lot, sometimes this muscle stops working and we actually, without realizing it, start just using our throat. So if you find that really nothing's happening here while we do this staccato exercise, just take a couple extra breaths, rest for a moment, come back in at the next one, because there's no point in that. You can use you use your voice with hardly any breath all day long. So we want to get the body engaged as much as we can right now. So just a little simple exercise. Well, might not be so simple. I'm still going to use a ha. We're going to go ha, 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 ha. That's it. Okay? And we want it from here. And take a breath. Ha, 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 ha. And take a breath. Ha, 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 ha. So this is a very staccato, short, bouncy breath. Let's just bounce it right off your diaphragm or your gut. Ha, 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 ha. Excellent. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, 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 ha. Now let's try ho. The only thing that's changing from the ah to the o is my lips. Ho, ho, ho. And it's not ho, 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 right? It's not, well, it's just not. It's just ho, like you forgot what you were going to do. Just hold your mouth in place. All right? Let's try this. We're going to go ho, 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 ho. Okay? So ho, 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 ho. Leave it an open-ended word. There you go. Ho, 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 ho. Ho, 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 ho. Very good. Ho, 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 ho. Always nice inhale first. Ho, 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 ho. Excellent. Ho, 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 ho. Ho, 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 ho. When you're starting, you want to make sure that breath is under you first. So I want to actually, I'm going to hear the note. I'm going to imagine in my mind when I take my breath that I'm already singing that note. There's going to be an action happening inside that's going to start setting you up for that note. So you're not trying to find it when you start. It's going to be somewhere in the middle. So it's an idea to play with. Our brains are really, really amazing. And the voice is very complicated in a way because we can't get in there and maneuver it like we can an instrument that we see. We can't just, a flute or a piano, right? We can press the notes and it changes. We can do a thing, but it's a little less It's much less like that with the voice. It's done much more internally. But trust that it's all working for you. So here we are in this rather high note. Taking your breath as if you're singing this note. Taking your breath. Let's try it again. I know it's a little high, but let's try it again. Oh, that was so much better. Did you feel like you could breathe in to like just use your mind and just be like, I'm breathing in. Just like tell yourself you can do it, right? Yeah, of course, that's what I'm doing. Let's go down a half step. And then this note. Nice, nice. Okay, let's go back up. Good. Stunning. Yes, one more. Excellent, excellent. All right, good. So relax and just sort of wiggle your hips. Check your low back too, because sometimes we can get a little tight and get a little arched in there. So check that out. Release it. Make sure you're not holding. All right, let's do one more, and then we're diving in. So we're going to use a TH. Thea, thea, theo, ho, ho, ho. So it will be, how low do I want to go? Thea, thea, theo, ho, ho, ho. Thea, thea, theo, ho, ho, ho. So it's not thea. That's a diphthong, right? Again, it's that sort of holding it open. We're preparing ourselves for pure vowels that we're going to be using in our singing. So we want to be careful not to turn every vowel into a word, like hey, hey, two sounds. Hey, I forgot what I was saying. Hey, it's kind of like that. You just hang it open and teach yourself to hold very open vowels without closing them down onto something. Also, within your masked jaw and face, see if you can hold your mouth open. Hey, ha, he, ho. All right, so everything's open. So you're going to practice not closing every time you do something. Hey, ho. That's what we do when we speak. We're always opening, closing, open, close, 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 close. Mostly we're closed. With singing, we have to totally reverse that. And it may seem obvious or it may seem completely foreign, but it is something that generally needs to be trained, because I don't think most of us go around saying, hi, how are you? I'm awesome. Oh, yeah. Oh, what? No, I don't think so, because, yeah. So it is foreign generally, and I want you to just play with it. Have fun with it. All right, so back to the exercise. We're using a TH. That is to help you engage. Get a little resistant. I'm fighting. I'm pushing against that breath. I'm pushing against my ribs. I'm pushing against my inner self. Yeah, just not here, not your throat, but your lower body. Okay? Here we go. So we've got our legato, we've got our connection, and we've got our staccato coming down. Here we go. Now when I change chords, that's your breath. Check in with your body. You getting tired? I am. Let's take a couple breaths just off your body for a minute. Just relax. Yeah, I'm feeling it. If you're feeling it, you're working. That's good. That's good, but we don't want it to stop working and shift to just using your throat to grind out those notes. Okay, good. So move your ribs around a little bit. Check your low back. Relax. All right, now we're going to go back, stand tall. We're going to do just a couple more. Just a couple more. All right. Fresh breath, fresh attack. Learn to listen to your body. Check in with yourself now and again. Here we go. Two more. See, I was tired. I took a little extra breath in there. You might not have seen that, but if you need to, just do it. And one more, just for fun. All right, relax. I hope you feel warm. I hope you feel warm inside anyway. There's not much warmth in this room. I wore my warmest sweater and layers underneath. I hope that you're comfortable. So go ahead and have a seat. Let's start with something very nice and easy. We're going to do green sleeves. Now I need to ask you all, are you doing the second verse? Yeah. Yes? You haven't practiced it? No, we haven't practiced. Do you know if that's the plan? Yes. It is the plan. Okay. Yeah, it's on the bottom. It's on the bottom. You haven't sung it. Do you know if you're going? You haven't sung it. Do you know? But do you know if that's the plan?
No, it's not on the recording. I think it's just one verse.
One verse. All right. Okay. Well then, let's just do the first verse in. I wrote it in because I wasn't sure, and since I've only been to one rehearsal with you guys since you started, I wasn't sure. So okay, great. So there's a little division there at measure 17. Anybody need to go over that before we review this? A couple of people. Okay. My understanding would be then the sopranos are all taking the top, and everyone else is going to take the bottom, like the altos, unless you are not comfortable singing the top. But let's try it. All right, so sopranos, can we start? And any altos, if you want to sing the top too, just go for it right now. You'll drop to your regular part. But if you're feeling frisky and want to sing the high stuff right now, go for it. We're going to start at measure 17. And this is for the split notes, so the top notes. But anyone who wants to sing it right now, go for it. In fact, sing with your friends. Here we go. Green sleeves was all my joy. Green sleeves was all my delight. Green sleeves my heart of gold. Let's stop for a second. So I just want the top voice. So if you're not singing the top voice, just don't sing. But if you want to sing the top voice because you feel like challenging yourself, go for it. I just want everyone to be able to hear that top voice for now. All right? So let's try that again. I'm not going to sing this time. So 1, 2, 3. Just the top voice. Good, keep going. And go up. Okay, good. Now, let's do it on an ah, just all on an ah. And then when we come back to do the words, we're going to try and open that up a little bit. Okay, so everybody who's singing the top line, just sing the whole thing on an ah for a moment. So 1, 2, 3. That's it. 2, breathe. Okay, good, good. So you want to keep that feeling of openness because it's a lot of really, a lot of E's and tight vowels, right, on the high notes. So you want to keep that E very open. So remember when I was talking about earlier, and this goes for everyone, when you're doing an E vowel, you still want an ah space. So if I'm singing, ah, and I change to an E, I'm going to try to keep my space. I'm going to try to keep my space rather than ah, because I'm going to shift to my throat, making that sound more. It's going to get hard. And then if I go do the same thing up here, ah, and if I'm here, oh, it's going to get tight after a while. You're going to come out of here with no voice, and I want you to do that. So we're going to try and keep it nice and open. Everybody do that. Everyone, no matter what part you're singing. Tongues forward. Now you might feel kind of a strange hooting sound in the front of your head. That's a great thing. There we go. All right, excellent. Let's do, how are you feeling about those notes now? Those who wanted to cover that. Yes.
Question. On measure 22, these are 3-beat measures.
Yes.
But the stems are up on that C sharp, so are we supposed to go down to that?
No, because this is an added harmony. So that's a good question. Normal notation, it would be divided like that, but in this case, you're just singing all the top notes.
Okay.
Yes, good question. So on sleeves, they're on 22. Those are all the top notes. Yeah. Yes, good question. And that kind of stuff happens when we add things in, especially if we're adding to something that's already been written in as a solo. It's like you don't have any place to put the stem, so you have to put it up to get it out of the way so you could read the note. Good question. And so for those who wanted to go over those notes, are you feeling better about it? You need more? No? Not a lot of response. How about, since I can't see your mouths or your eyes roll at me, are you good? Say yes or no. Okay, still not a lot of response, but that's how it's gonna be. All right, my friends, let's throw in both parts at that point. So, if you're singing the bottom, it's pretty much the melody, so you should be pretty comfortable. I just want this to be a nice little wake up. All right, so starting there on measure 17, everyone together. 1, 2, breathe. Nice. How's that feeling? How about you, altos? Is that feeling okay? Yeah, it's beautiful. Very, very beautiful. Sopranos feeling good? All right, just a little touch on that. Gosh, I feel like I'm just going to whack this thing. Okay, good. So that's all I want to do on that. All right. Let's take a look at... let's take a look at It Was a Lover. So we've got some verses to deal with on this one, right? I believe the goal is to practice doing verses 2 and 3. It was a lover and his lass. Yep. So the goal is to do all the verses, I would think. At least 2. I don't know if you're doing 2 and 3, but I'm assuming she said verses, not verse. So let's just read through it. Let's just read it. Read verse 2, everybody together. This carol they began that hour, but the hay and the hoe and the hay, blah, blah, blah. Okay, go on to the next verse, or next part where it comes in. How that a life was but a flower. Okay, and then in springtime, springtime, springtime. And that's it. So the verse part is very short. That's it. Okay, so look at verse 3. And therefore take the present time, da 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 da. In verse 3 on the next place it comes in. For love is crowned with the prime. We will vocalize that. So crowned, okay? Crowned with the prime. All right, so let's just do that. We're going to do verse. I just want to do the verses, actually. So everyone together. Now, altos, if you're not comfortable looking up to that, I highly recommend you write in your verses underneath. So like the first verse or the third verse, I don't know, what you might be able to easily read the third verse because it's close to your line. You might choose to write in verse 1 and 2. But whenever I have something like that where it's like my eyes are going crazy trying to look up and down, I try to squeeze the words in somewhere that's easy for me to see. So, so let's just start with the first verse. How have you guys been doing on verse 1? It's been going well? Alto's easy? Good. Okay, so then let's start on the second verse. All right, here we go. 1 and 2. Actually, I'm going to stop. We're going to stop at that. So I'm just going to do the verse. Let's try that again. So it... First or second? Second verse. This carol they began that hour. So 1 and 2. Good, good. Let me hear just the altos. Yeah. Now let's connect everything a little more. So what I'm hearing is bum 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 bum. A little separation, just a tiny bit of separation. So I want you to see if you can connect a little more. This carol they began that hour. I'm carrying my voice and keep it going. So I'm still pronouncing the words, but I'm not stopping in between. And this is a way to, really stretch the voice, stretch the tone. It's going to be beautiful. And also, if it goes fast, you'll be ready to go faster because you're not trying to chop, 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 chop. You already have a connected feeling. Let's do the altos one more time, then we'll do the sopranos. Oh, I know what happened. Hold on 1 second. So I heard this is the trick. Put the S of this smack next to the C of Carol. This, not this. So I'm holding the vowel just as long as I can, and I'm putting the consonant right next to the next consonant. That will already give you a connection. And then Carol, that's an easy one. Carol, the L with the TH. So it's almost like you rewrite in a new language. You scoop the L closer to the TH so we don't have a break. And same thing with began that. So I'm holding the began, but I'm not going began. That's how we speak. But we're going to stretch it. We're going to stretch all the vowels so that we have that connection. That's kind of like the technical way to do it, is to smack those ending consonants as close as you can to the next one. Okay? So with that idea, let's do both parts of that first verse. Verse 2, which is the first one we're working on. The first section of that verse, this carol. So 1 and 2. Good. Let's do it again. I will play it better. 1 and 2. Oh, that was getting there. That was really nice. Now I want you to take that right arm. This carol they began that hour. And everybody do it together in your part. I won't play it, but I want you to just have the same idea on both parts. 1 and 2. That's it. Now I only heard a couple of thises. This the S and the C together. I'm hearing it a little bit on this side. Yes? Well, yeah, you know, when we did this in 2020, I have the G crossed out. Are you doing it this year? You don't have a G in your music. So who has music brand new from this year? And what do you have, a G or no G? And you have it brand new this year? Interesting. But they can see it. They can see the G, if it's there or not. Yeah, interesting. Okay, well, I don't know. We crossed it out when we did it before because I think the original Carol did not have that in there. So that'll be a question for Debbie. Sorry, I don't know what to tell you. We'll let her decide. All right, so if you're doing it if you end up doing the G, this cat, same thing. The S is coming late. But if you're not doing the G, yeah, so it's interesting. I don't know. Well, I don't know. I can't make that decision. So do what you think is right. Also, the version I have is this for the altos, not this. It was that E was also crossed out from 2020. Do you have the C or no?
I don't have it. No, it just goes F, F, E, yeah, F, F, G, F, F, C.
Does everybody have that? They don't have the E's crossed out? You have a C? What do you have? What do you have?
Yes, E, not a C.
E.
Oh my word. We have the opposite.
The two of you sitting next to each other. All right. I will put a note on that. Which version? Because you all have something different. Okay, great. Well, now we identified something interesting. All right. I think that's the only place that there should be... actually, there's another spot that I have some adjustments from the first time we did this, which is at the end of the carol, Sweet Lovers Love the Spring. In the soprano part, what I have from the adjustments that we made back in 2020, Sweet lovers love the spring. Do you have that rhythm? No. What do you have? Or do you have? All right, well. All right, couple questions to check on there. We'll find out. I was hoping I would know all of that by now, but I didn't find that out. Okay, so anyway, let's go on. Let's do the second verse at where it comes in again. Everyone, that's the second system down on the word how. And for altos. So where it says number 2 on the second system down, very last note. How? Do you see that? Yes, altos? Yeah. Sopranos? Yeah. All right, here we go. 1 and 2. Good. Now without me. 1 and 2. Good. So altos, let me hear you. Sorry. Yeah, no, here. How that. 1 and 2. Yeah, okay, good. So I think just a couple people are holding that a little longer than you need to. So it's 1 and so let me say the counts for you just so you can feel that rhythm. So 1 and 2, and 1 and 2, and 1 and 2. I think some people are holding that a little bit long. Like the first time when we sing, we have a longer note. We have a dotted eighth note. In this case, we don't. At the beginning of the song, you have we have a dotted eighth, which is longer, right? So there may be a little confusion between the two. They're not identical. So let's do that again, everyone together. The second verse, at the second time it comes in, how? Last note of second system, 1 and 2. You got it, very good. And now we're going to switch to the third verse. So I just want you to get some practice playing with these verses and getting them in your mouth and figuring out where those consonants go so we get a nice connected tone. And then when we go faster, you'll be all ready to go if we do go faster. All right, so verse 3, that is at the beginning of the song again, and therefore take the present time. And again, altos, if you ever want to write anything in your music, do whatever you need to do to make it easy for yourself to sing verses that are harder to see. And that goes for anyone at any point. So 1 and 2. Okay, do it again. I didn't hear all the words. 1 and 2. Good. And time won't be very long. Present time. Why? Because you have come right in, right? Present time with a hey. So you'll close the word out, but it won't be time. It won't have a lot of time to it. All right, second place where you come in on verse 3, the word for. For love is crowned with the prime. And prime is that ah that I was talking about last week. All of these I words are the ah vowel. Time, prime, life. What else we got? Ring, time. Yeah, so you get the idea. So let's start verse 3, 1 and 2. All right, same thing. I think the altos, you still have the first rhythm in your head, which is I hold the second note longer, but in the second time you don't. For love is crowned with the prime. You don't hold it. Do you see what I'm saying? The second note of every verse is just 1/8 note instead of an 1/8 note with a dot. So it's a little shorter. And that's common. You know, if you're going to have something repeated, it's going to be a little different and probably fits the word better. But it's very common to make a little change like that, but it's one of those things that you can get in your ear and you're like, oh, shoot. All right, one more time, everybody together. 1 and 2. Good. Now let's have you all look up. 1 and 2. And I'm just beating in 4 because I just want you to get together. All right, I'm not the best conductor. But I want you to practice looking up a little bit because you're all in your own rhythm. You think that you're hearing it, but you're kind of... All right, so good. That's all I want to do on that. I just want to touch on that and get you comfortable with looking at those other verses. So when we come back to that, you'll be like, oh, yeah, I got that. And we'll get those questions figured out on the verses. I'm glad that we had a minute to realize that you all are sitting next to each other and having different versions. So that's good. We'll get that sorted out. Okay. Nice. Versions. That's funny. Okay. Now, you ready to work a little? Okay, let's look at double-double. We are going to jump into the verses. This is a verse night. So you notice that double-double, toil and trouble is kind of like the chorus. You know, you're together, you're in parts, and it repeats a few times throughout the song. So on page 2, measure 15, we get into the verse, if you want to call it that. Now, what I have from, I don't know what version I have, but at one point I wrote down that sopranos were singing this at measure 15, or is this everyone? Last time you did small groups together, or just practice it? Small groups? Oh, yeah, I have sopranos for 2020, but like, what'd you guys do the last time? Have you guys worked on this? Okay. All right, so let's practice it all together then, so then you all know it no matter what. Here's the thing. This has a challenging combination of whole steps and half steps. That's what we're gonna work on today. So if some of you read music, some of you don't, some of you are instrumentalists, some of you are not. So a half step is the smallest step that we've got in our Western music. Half step, half step. It's like if you played every single key on the piano, half steps for everything you hear. Black and white, all next to each other. Those are all your half steps. Go down the end. All right, so we've got some of those, and then we've got some whole steps. If you're not sure and you're training your ear, and this is kind of new to you, it's kind of helpful sometimes to write things in. So you can put an H or a W. Some people like symbols, like I have a student who likes a kind of like a, okay, yeah, one of those. A little up and down, like a little upside down triangle for a half step, and a little square for a whole step, or a little, rectangle between the notes that are changing, okay? So whatever system you like, if you need that help, some people just learn by ear, and that's fine too, but whatever helps you to get this down. So we're going to start with the beginning I, and then the next one is a D flat, half step. The next note is still a D flat because that's the way music is. Until you change it, it stays altered. So that's called an accidental, and you're going to keep that note the same. So we have, and then 2 half steps down, or same, right, second. And then another half step, and then repeat, and then a whole step. Because on the piano, right, there's actually a white key, black key, so that's a whole step. And then a repeat. Okay? So, did that make sense to everyone, or am I speaking in tongues? Okay. All right, great. So let's try it with the words and see what happens. Could be amazing. Here we go. I have newt and toe a frog. Now, my guess is you sort of slid into toe a frog. There's just a little, that doesn't roll off our metaphorical musical tongue, right? It just doesn't feel so easy, although many of you are familiar with this. I know that. So we're going to say, let's do it on a la with no words. Okay, here we go. All right, so actually the whole steps were quite solid, but where we got a little off was the half step between the word newt and. So, sing a la here. This is newt. La. And now half step down is la. And go back up. Half step down. Excellent. Now let's sing newt and those 2 words. Good. So if you notice, the beginning is half, half. So there's repeats. So it's down a half, repeat, down a half, repeat, and then you have the whole step. Okay, so let's just do those first few notes all the way through the word toe. Those are all half steps. Sorry, I kept going. I want you to hold on. I have newt and. I want you to hold on the and. There's a little disagreement when we hear that. One more time. Hold. 2. Yes, that's it. Some of you are singing an octave down, that's fine. And you're getting it. So now let's go on. Let's do the whole thing when we have that whole step. Here we go. I again. here's the thing. It's really nice to be able to sing that with the piano banging out your notes, and I'm very grateful I'm not having to play this for the performance, but what you're getting underneath that beautiful little line is, yeah, you're not getting a lot of help. All right. So we got to really internalize those half steps and whole steps, just to tell you ahead of time. Okay, great. So let's sing the word frog. Measure 16. Just sing frog. Good. How about we flip the R a little? So instead of frog, just a little tiny flip. Frog. So I'm making the F, and then I'm just flipping my tongue, but all of it's on the same pitch. So it's not fra or fra. It's fra. That's it. Try it. Just a quick little fra. That's it. So that's the same thing that I was talking about before. In order to connect one consonant as close as you can to the next one when you're changing words, this is the same thing, except this is in one word. You're going to get both those consonants like right there, fra, and get right to the vowel. Excellent. Beautiful. So sing the frog again for me. Much better. Now, what's next? Whole step or half step? Everybody's got it. All right. So can you, if I play this for you, will you then sing this with me? And then I want you to hold on the next note. I'm not going to play it. So sing frog. And take a breath and find your next note. Go. Pretty good. Good. Pretty good. That's a whole step. Very nice. And what's next? Half or whole? All right. So can you sing that? So here's wool. And then what's of? And what's next? Same. Right. What's next? And keep going. And then half or whole? Yeah, it's a half step. Yeah. And you know why that's hard? Because above your pattern was you ended the phrase with whole step. You ended 2 whole steps in the phrase above. But this one, you ended with 2 half steps. Yeah. So they're not the same. Yeah. So let's do wool of bat and tongue of dog. I'll play it with you. Here we go. 1 and 2 and. Yeah. Remember to put the ng really close to the of, so it's not tongue of. It's almost like you're saying the word nya, instead of whatever you were doing before. Tongue of dog. I'm putting the ng of tongue right with the of, so that I keep it connected. So it's wool of bat and tongue of dog. I'm still making all the consonants, but I'm making very long vowels and making the consonants very close together. Does that make sense? Yeah, good. Let's do that again. Wool of bat. Here we go. And. Good. Let's do the whole thing, starting on I. Now, we've got another interesting little combination here, which is the time signatures. We're in 3, and then we're in 2. We're in 2, then we're in 3. We're in 3, then we're in 2, then we're in 3, then we're in 2. See that? It's great. All right, so if I was going to count this, I would say 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, off. Okay, so we're changing time, changing meter there. Okay, good. So it tends to be a challenge making sure we hold the right amount of time at the end of the phrase. As long as the notes keep going, we're doing great. All right, so let's do the whole thing. Here we go. On I of newt, all together. 1 and 2 and. 2. Breathe. Wool. Good, nice. So there was a tendency to wait a little too long on the word sting because that's another 2/4 bar instead of 3/4 bar. So watch that you don't just kind of fall into the pattern because the pattern keeps changing. So that's a 2/4 bar, which means you cut off sooner. You got a nice little rest written right in there. That's the little guy that looks like a 7. Breathe on that. Use that breath. Yeah, definitely ask your neighbors. If you're not sure of anything, share information. All right, so let's try it again. We're just going to go a little faster. I'm liking this. It's feeling good to me. How's it feeling good to you? Sort of. Yeah? No? Yeah? All right. So here we go. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Good. Let's do altos there on lizards. That was great. So do you feel really? I feel like it's just the word sting. That's the only one that you all did it very, very well. Once you were aware that you got to come in a little sooner. It sounded great. Let's just do altos on lizards. 1 second. Let's do lizards. So give a little vowel to let's wing. Oh, let's wing. Now, it's unfortunate that they put the L of owl, let's, but I'd like you to put the L next to the E and give that sound, vowel, a little length there so we don't have everybody doing their L's there in different places. Same thing for sopranos, of course. So let's do that together, everyone. Lizard's legs, and then I'll come back to your question. Okay, 1 and 2 and. Really put that L with the let because it's in a couple of different places there. One more time. 1, 2, 1. Great, very good. What was your question?
The question is on sting. Are we holding that 1.5 beats, or is that 1.5 beats right there?
Yeah, exactly. And you're breathing on the and of 2. If you're writing in the counts, 1 and 2, breathe. So when you're counting, you have to make sure that you breathe. You don't add a count for the breath. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to breathe now. Well, whoops, you were actually breathing here, and then 1 comes over there. So sometimes it's really more of like the out breath and then the in breath. So I say sting. If I've got 4 eighth notes, so 1 and 2 and that's my breath. It's also the end of the word, right? So it's sting. I'm making the NG and I'm breathing in. So watch my hand. 1 and 2 is my breath. So I'm saying the word sting, sting, and I'm also breathing in because I need to come in on 1. Does that make sense? You're breathing on the 4th eighth note of that measure? Sort of.
So there's 4 beats in that measure?
There's 4 eighth notes in that measure. So you're breathing on the last half of beat 2.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah. So, but you're also ending your word. You're putting the end. You're rounding out your word sting. So you make your G and then you breathe in right away. Yeah, that's it. Good. All right. So let's go on to 38, page 4. In the cauldron, boil and bake. Fillet. It's a T, I believe, because I have that underlined from last time. Fillet of a fenny snake. Scale of dragon, tooth of wolf. Witch's mummy, maw and gulf. Oh my goodness. Everyone, please say these words with me. I will play the melody. I just want you to speak the words in rhythm. All right, get these in your mouth and in your tongue. See how it feels. 1 and 2, you just speak. In the cauldron, boil and bake. Fillet of a fenny snake. Scale of dragon, tooth of wolf. Witch's is mummy, ma, and golf. Yes, that is very strange to say. How's that feel in your mouth? Are you getting it? I think it's kind of hard. So let's do it again, but this time let's go ahead and add the words. All right, add the pitches. So go ahead, give it a try, sing away. We've got a half step, and then a whole step, and then a same, and then a whole step. So this is the pattern where we have that whole step at the end of the phrase. Then we go back up a whole step, half step. I don't know if it repeats the pattern. Whole step, half step up, half step, whole step, whole step. So all this whole step, half step talk, is everyone good with that? Yeah? Because I know not everybody reads music, so I just want you all to feel like you're all being brought along comfortably. Yeah? Everybody good? All right, so let's try it. In the cauldron, we'll go nice and slow. Everybody do it. I have it as altos, but we'll see how it gets divided up later. 1 and 2 and 2, 3. 3. Breathe. 1, 2, off. That's the long one. That's the only one. Golf. And you'll make the LF at the end. So we have 1, 2, off. That'll be your consonants. Very good, very good, very good. All right, let's do it a little faster. 1 and 2 and. Break. Breathe. Breathe. Nice. All right, very good, very good. You've done all of the double bits, right? Yeah. Okay, and have you done the end? The harmony at the end? All right, let's just do the end. Measure, actually, let's do measure 60, everyone, where it divides. It starts out together. Measure 60, page 5. And then we'll have a little harmony here, and then we have this. Of course, it goes fast, but let's see where we're at with that. So at the very last measure, we have 2 divisions of all 4 parts on those 2, and then we have 3. Okay, so let's see where we're at. Start at 60. 1, 2. Sorry, I added a few notes there. And go. Yeah, that's a short note. That's a short note. This way comes. That's it. Unless your director decides to hold it. Something this way wicked comes. That's it.
Excuse me, Jacqueline, which
Yes.
notes do the second soprano sing?
Yes, good question. Okay, so on something, all sopranos are on the top, all altos are on the bottom. And then when we get to this, second sopranos, you're going down a half step. So hence our continuing our conversation of half steps and whole steps. So sopranos, 2s are going to go something this way wicked. So you go to half step, yeah? So you're singing the C sharp, and then you're going to go to the A. Comes, you're doing the middle note at the end. So top, second note down, second note down. Basically, it's second note down. Okay, so let's just do soprano 1 and 2 together, please, on something this way wicked comes, where it says forcefully. Sing it forcefully. Here we go. 1 and 2 and. Good, and it's short soprano twos, but that was perfect. You held it lovely. Let's do this again, but this time I want you to actually stop, both of you, on this. Let's get a good crunch. Let's feel a crunch. All right, here we go. Something this way, something wicked this. Just hold this. So start on something. Yeah, well done. That's hard to do. That's great. And then your last two notes are. That's it. Good. Let's do that with the altos too. So altos, let's have you start on the B flat on something. And then you are going to, alto ones are going to stay on that B flat. And alto twos, kind of a little bit more of the melody. So we're going to do the same thing, altos. We're going to go hold on this. So you'll have a crunch of your own. That's what I want you to play with that for a second, okay? Start with something, and. And then break. Yeah, sorry, just threw you to the end. Good, everybody together. That was great. All right, it's tricky. So we're back to the word something wicked. This way comes. Last two measures. All sopranos are on the top. All altos are on the second note down. And then you divide. And then go. All right? 1 and 2 and. Short. Make it shockingly amazing. So we're going to go, something this way. Sorry. Something wicked this way comes. Unless your director says, and you're going to be watching, so you'll know, right? So.
Could we just have the second soprano sing that last bar, the half note down? This way comes.
Yes. Ding dong, swing low, sweet chariot. That's your interval. Yeah? Yeah. Okay. Sing that. This way comes. Seconds, just by yourself. Good. So remember what I was telling the altos and everybody about putting the S close to the next word? So we want a vowel in there. It's going to be really hard to find your pitch if you're this. Well, where's your pitch? Because you're not singing anymore. Now you're on a consonant. This way, this way, this way. Even if it's fast, we got to find the vowel. Got to find the vowel most of the time, like 99% of the time. Sometimes you totally do all kinds of crazy things for effect. But as a rule, we've got to find the vowel in these words, even if they're fast. And try and get that consonant. It's not that you hold the vowel longer, it's that you put the consonant later. So we don't want to throw off the rhythm by going this way. It's not that, it's this way. So it's almost like this. It's not this way, because we don't want to change the word into the word sway, but it's this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. It's almost like there's a little itty-bitty lift between the S and the W, but we're holding the vowel as its full length, really. Okay, if that makes any sense. Is that comfortable seconds? Okay, good. Let's do it together one more time. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's go back to, let's just go back to 56. Everybody together. So we get a little feeling. 1 and 2 and. Good. Did we get all, hold on. Did we all get the fire and burn? Did you all get that? Yeah, there's a little change there. Let's do that again. Double, right there at 56. 1 and 2 and. Good. Let's do it again. I want to hear that without me playing. Those two measures just to get that little change because it's a little different from before. 1 and 2 and. Yeah. Bring out that moving line, sopranos. Toil and. And what are you going to do? You're going to hold the vowel. Oh, it's not quite a pure vowel, right? So you can't, we're not doing toil, and we're not doing toil. It's toil and. It's quick, so you don't have time to do toil and. You don't have time for that. Toil and. Forget the E part of the word toil. Just toil and trouble. You got to keep moving there. Yeah, so let's just do that. Sopranos for a second at 56, just those first two measures, 56 and 57, just to kind of get a feeling for that. 1 and 2 and. Good, without me. 1 and 2 and. Good, nobody else sing for a minute because I want to hear just that part. 1 again. Beautiful. That's it. I'm starting to hear those wonderful vowels in between. Are you guys hearing that? It's nice. All right, altos. Let's just get your part. So you got a big leap here. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I like that part. Let's hear you do your part. 1 and 2 and. Keep going. Good. So what vowel are you going to sing on the word fire? Fa. Fire. You can put the fire. You have to hold the first part longer. Fire burn. Now that's a little tricky because it's a whole step there at the end. So you are sort of making the R, just a little far. I'm not really making an far. So like a almost. Far burn. So try that. So I don't want you to sing fire burn. Yes. Do it again. Excellent. One more time. I'll just listen. Nice. Nice job. Yeah. Yes. Excellent. You guys are doing so well. Oh, I love your tone. It's really great. Let's do it, everyone, together. 56. Sopranos and altos. 1 and 2 and. Oh, wait, what's that note? You've gone back and forth a few times from half steps to whole steps there. Fa. And that everybody should be singing that. At that point, I didn't really hear any sopranos. And measure 62. So let's just do that. Let's do that again for 56. I'm not sure what happened there. So actually, let's do this. Sopranos, would you do treble fa? Just do that little, because that's a fifth, right? You got a big drop there. Just do that treble fa and hold the vowel for a second. That's it. You got to go to the fa. Everybody's got to go to the fa of the word fire. Otherwise, we won't have any word at all. It'll just be a bunch of blah, blah. All right, so treble fa. Again? Yes, good. And altos. You're going to do the same thing? That's it together, my friends. 1 and 2. Good. Let's go back to 60 together. 1 and 2. Oh, wait, hold on. Fire burn. Everyone is unison there. Everyone's unison. That's what happens. So on the word fire, everyone sings the same notes. 1 and 2 and. Now we divide. And. All right, we have a lot of soloists hiding in the ranks here. Okay, yes. Yeah. Yes. So all sopranos start on far burn and. Ready? That's on measure 58. 1 and 2 and. Good. Again. All right. On your own without me. Oh, hold on. I'm hearing fire. Fire. It's far, far, far. We got to get that ah first, and then put the little R right before the word burn. Just a tiny bit of R right there. 1 and 2 and. Yeah? That's it. Now, it's a little tricky because it's faster than you think. Remember that stuff we were doing earlier today? Oh, with your body, right? I don't know if you can see me. Sometimes it's nice to give a little action from your sport, rather than hope it works out. Yeah, it doesn't always work out. You got to give your body some action there. Sometimes we have some quick notes. I'm using my body right here. I am using my muscles to make some action there rather than just riding it on it. Okay. Good. Let's move on. You guys are doing great. I love your tone. I'm glad you asked the questions that you asked. I hope that was helpful. And I feel like I'm not going to get through a fraction of this stuff, but here we go. All right. We need to look at music. If the true concord, which is the second page of music to hear. Music. All right, you guys were amazing last week on the counting of all of this and the patterns and stuff. And I know we touched on a couple things before rehearsal for some questions about how this goes together. I want to really just work on the new part, which is, in case you don't remember this from when we did this before, or if it's new to you, let's do the part that's not the music part. All right, we're starting at the 2-2 bar. This is measure 38 on the second page. All right. So all sopranos are on the top line. All altos are on the bottom line. So you see we're switching arrangements a little bit here. So you were in groups. Now you're in soprano top line, alto bottom line for now. Okay? It's not your grouping anymore. Sopranos, you will divide on the top line. So you'll either stay on the bottom note if it divides, soprano 2, or soprano 1s, you'll take the top. All right. Now, on measure 42, we go back to a single line. So I feel like some of this is tracking. You know, it's like choreography. Where's my foot supposed to go next? Like, what entrance am I coming in? So measure 36, you've just done several sections of 2 lines per staff. So 2 lines, and then measure 42, we switch to a single line. So now when it divides, all altos are on the bottom if there's only 2 notes. All right, so we're going to go through that, and then we'll go further. So let's start with measure 38, where we're in two parts. Now you just finished music, which is unison, right? Everybody sings the same 4 notes together. So everybody sing on measure 36, the second half of it. Everyone sing music to hear. Then you rest. Do it again. Good, and get off. Now, we're all unison. Let's start here. 1, now it's 2, 2, so it's sort of like 4. 1. I'm sorry, I don't have the right key here. Great. How you feeling about that, altos? Good. So when you sing the word sounds, what's that vowel? Ah, with a little tiny ooh at the very end. It's like fire. Fire, sounds. There's a little ooh at the end. Excellent. Now we're switching. Let's do that again one more time. Seconds, did you get that, your notes there? Feeling good about that on well-tuned? Yeah? Okay, great. Let's start there again and keep going after that. And then it's unison. Go. Rest, rest, and divide. Right. And 1. Rest. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. Breath. 3. Very nice, very nice. Now that was seamless, where you switched from the half step and you went to the whole step. That was very nice. Yes, Jacqueline, yes. Yes, yes, exactly. So all altos will be on the bottom and all sopranos on the top. Perfect. What's that? Well, Debbie might have decided something else, but standard would be, if you all are singing it, then, and you're all on one line and you started unison, then the lower voices be on the bottom note and all the upper voices be on the top. So hang on to that, and if that gets changed, then I know you can handle it, because you're all great musicians. All right, great. And let's go on. So measure, mine's cut off a little, I don't know what that is, 60 or something like that. If the true concord, it's just after the 15 bars of rest that you have there. Now we have a new key. So so in the beginning we did this. Now it's this. So now it's like, oh, feels a little different. So we changed that half step to a whole step because we have a G sharp. Okay? So we're going to have some different feelings there. So now when we have well-tuned sounds, soprano 1s will be on the top, soprano 2s will be in the middle, altos will be on the bottom. And then same thing. And then just the 2-part split. So sopranos for sounds and altos. All right, so let's just do one voice at a time. Let's do soprano 1s. We're doing the second time around when we say if the true concord with the key change. This is where we have 4 sharps. All right, soprano 1s, are you ready for me? Are you guys good? You good? Okay, so here we go. And 1. Just the soprano 1s. Well tuned, I'm not sure what I heard. Do that one more time. Please no one else sing when I'm just doing one part at a time. No one else sing. No one else sing. All right, who's soprano 1? Raise your hand. Only 3? Oh, you guys. I'm sorry. I will sing with you probably later. Some of your friends are missing. You're missing some friends. All right, great. You're doing good. All right, so let's do soprano 2s in that same place. So now you will do the middle line when you, the middle note when you get to well-tuned sounds. Soprano twos, so you're ready, and breathe. And one more time, soprano twos. Is everyone got it? Is everyone in the right place? Yeah, we got it. We got a little. We got a note that's an errant note. Hang on to your part. Just do the best you can. And now go up a whole step. Up. Well. Everyone sing well. Yeah, all soprano twos sing well. Well. Soprano twos. Well, a little higher. Well, well. Everyone together? Well, here we go. And breathe. And then down a whole step. It's not a big step. It's just da, da. That's it. All right. So all the soprano twos again from if, the true, and breathe. All right, and now altos. Yours is easy. You got it, you got it. Let's do it, everyone together, and let's go on. The divisions are pretty straightforward from here. And go. And soft. Breath. Let's try. Thine ear. Hold on one second. I just want to hear altos. Thine ear. Yeah. Be careful not to go to the R. So what I heard was ear. And actually your pitches all came down very much together. But as the R crept into your sound, everyone kind of sank. So you're going to hold the E as long as you can. Thine ear. And the R is going to be like a little whisker at the end. Ear. And the R, you make an R, but it'll be very slight. Okay? But it'll be at the end rather than ear. It's just natural. We do what we see, right? So we're relearning to look at the words we see for singing. It's like a new language. It's a new language. Great. And let's go on after ear. Everyone together, they do but sweetly, and breathe. Great. Now, have you looked at Mark, how one string? Should we do a quick review of that? Just for notes? All right, and go on. So this is measure 88 and 1. Mark. 1, 2, 1, 2. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Rest, rest, rest. Good, and same thing always with those R's. And we're going to avoid going order, 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 ordering, ordering. Everyone sing ordering. Yeah. It immediately gets you on pitch on that der. Because as soon as you sing the der, we've lost you. We've just lost the whole thing. That was great. Keep going. And Mark in the next measure after 103, I think it is. And 1. Mark, how one string. Yeah. Same thing. Oh, so much better. I love it. And go. Yes. Yes. And go on to resembling. And good. Yeah, excellent, excellent. Okay, good. So hopefully that is helping you feel like you're getting more familiar with that piece or re-familiar with that piece. Yeah. Okay, great. That's what I wanted to do on that one. Okay, we need to look at spring. Now, everybody stand up for a minute and shake and move your hands. My right hand is absolutely freezing because that is touching the ice-cold keys. So move around a little bit. Say hello to your neighbor. We're going to do spring next. So last week we started on spring, I believe, was new to rehearsal. And we're going to review what we did last week, and then we're going to go on. I'm going to try to warm up this one hand. Have a drink of water if you hadn't had any water lately. Take a sip. Run around in circles. Wipe your nose if it's running, which mine is from the cold. Join me as we look at spring. Now, again, some of you have heard this and you worked on it in 2020, but some of you have not. So we took a look, last week we listened to the beginning. And, you know, the recording, it moves right along. It moves right along. And it's kind of a funny recording, as I recall. They don't make any consonants. It's very strange. There's like no endings to their words. Trust me, we will have endings to our words. And we will be breathing. So I don't know. It's not going to quite sound exactly the same. But, okay. So if you're comfortable, let's see. Do you feel like you could do this without accompaniment, or do you want to review it note by note? I mean, there's no accompaniment. But do you want to go part by part? Do you want to try it all together? How are you feeling about the first part of this? Try it? Wing it. I love it. All right. Let's start with measure 9. Okay, I'm going to sit. So maybe you guys want to sit for warmth. I don't know. If you feel like you want to stand, go ahead and stand. But everybody's kind of have to do the same thing, because otherwise people behind you can't see. Or move if you want. Some people want to sit, some stand. Up to you. Okay, so let's start at measure 9. So we're whistling. Somebody's whistling. Maybe you're all whistling. And then you come in. So the whistle is... Any whistlers here? Can you whistle? Can you all sing these? Can all you whistlers sing these 4 notes? Measure 9. Go. No, it's got to be on pitch. Can't just be any notes. It can't be way up high. Well, maybe it can if you can really control it. I can't do it right now because my lip isn't working. So just do those 4 notes. Okay, everybody, that's your starting note. All right? So that's where you're going to get your note, in case you're wondering if you've been humming along or whistling. And then you all come in. All right? So let's do the whistlers. We'll do those 4 notes, and then everyone come in on your words. So take your breath, whistlers, and go. Go. Let's stop there, because I cannot get my eyes to focus on these three lines at one time for some reason today, at all. So I'm just going to do 2 at a time. Soprano 2s, and you can go ahead and rest soprano 1s. Soprano 2s and altos from When Daisies Pied at the beginning, measure 9. So we're in 6A, so it's 1 and 2 and. Sorry, I'm playing the wrong lines. Hold on, I switched from second soprano to first soprano. Oh, my bad. One more time. Sorry, second sopranos, I left you hanging. 1 and 2. Unison. Okay, so how you doing, soprano 2s? Can I would like to hear you again. Can I hear you by yourself? From measure 9, 1 and 2. Good. How many of you are there? Raise your hands. 2, 6, 8. Can you give me more sound, friends? Be brave, be bold. There's a lot of you. Let's sing out. If you're going to make a mistake, make it loud and bold. Because if you can't hear yourself, you're not going to know. If you clash with your neighbor, fine. Then you know there's a spot. So sing out, be brave. Let's do that one more time, please. That was great. I mean, you're doing it. I just want you to, go for it. Because you're the middle, right? It's hard to hear the middle. And it's so wonderful that there's so many of you here. The top is always going to be heard. You guys, there's tons of you, right? So, and you're nice and strong as well. So bring out the middle so we can really, really just relish in all those harmonies. Okay, one more time, seconds. 1 and 2. Good, go. Be brave. That's it. Good. Excellent. Now everybody together, one more time. From the beginning. And I can't play all 3 parts, so just do what you can with what you hear. Or your memory, because you're doing great. But really sing out seconds just like that. Don't sing any less. That was so good. And if you're not sure, just give it a try. Just try it. Just do your best and see what comes out. If you make a mistake, I don't care. You got to just feel your oats right now. Okay? You're right in the middle. I want you to really go for it. 1 and everybody. Good. Unison. That's it. All right, let's get that. Let's get that. That was good. You guys did great. Soprano 2, start on measure 17, page 4, last beat, the cuckoo. Let's get your middle part right there. So you've just done this beautiful with delight. Then we sing the cuckoo. You see where we are? Measure 17. It's at the top. The measure numbers are at the top of these systems. Sometimes they're at the bottom. It's the first measure of page 4. But the last note on the word the. You with me? Liz? Yes. Okay. 1 and 2. Cuckoo then on every tree mocks married men, for thus sings he. One more time. And breathe. The cuckoo then on every tree mocks married men, for thus sings he. All right, we got a little variation of the notes there. Can I hear you on your own? 1 and breathe. I think it's right there. So on you go right back to the note that you had for cuckoo and then. So I think somebody's not going all the way back up. That third, the cuckoo then on So just do that much together, seconds. Yeah, that's it. All right, so now we go, every tree. It just kind of goes back and forth, just noodles back and forth, whole step to whole step. Do every tree, if you would. Actually, let's do on every tree. Seconds on the word on. That's it. Let's do that again. On every tree. One more time. Keep going. Good. Keep going. Yes, very nice. Okay, first, you feeling bold up there? It's kind of high, I know. I'll sing with you if you want. 1. On measure 17 on the word the. Top of the page, page 4. And 1, 2. The cuckoo then on every tree mocks married men, for thus sings he. Okay, good, on your own. And go. Lot of ease in this, right? So really open up. So when you get up to then, so open up. Open your mouth as wide as you can. What is it? Just kind of do an every tree. Don't try to make it every tree. Don't even try. Just every tree. Open your mouth. Are you seeing this? Every tree. Every tree. Just do that. Every tree. Even less on the vree. Every tree. Less on the vree. Trust me, it's going to be, we're going to know the words. Everyone's got the same words, so it'll be fine. It should feel easier. The more open you are, the more supported you are, the more tone you're going to have, the less you worry about the E. Every tree. It's going to be harder, and you're going to get tired really fast. Okay? Good. Let's do that again from the beginning, the cuckoo. Sorry, so, and breathe. Open. Now I want to suggest that you don't take a break between on, you're trying to make yourself pick that G out of nowhere. Let the on be a jumping board for you. And this goes for everyone. When you have a leap, use it. Use the low note to help you get up there. Not that you scoop to it, but if you try to pluck out a high note, high for you, whatever your interval is, if you have the opportunity, and you don't have to start on that note, give yourself the chance to use the note before as a springboard. So you're already breathing, you're already open, you're already supported. Go for the next note rather than, I have to find it. It'll be so much easier. You'll save yourself a lot of vocal fatigue. All right? So try that with springing off of on. So you already got a slur. Then on it. And if you don't want to make the end of on, don't. But don't stop the note and then pluck the G out of the air. You're making it so much harder. And think about this alto, second sopranos too, because that confidence of the higher notes comes a lot of times from getting the momentum from the note before. And you get scared of the high notes. We, as a whole, get scared of the high notes and we think, I gotta just sort of get it. You're gonna really put yourself at a disadvantage. So let that momentum carry you. All right, so do that again. Where are we? On every tree. Go on firsts. So I breathe on. On. So after the cuckoo, then on. Go on. Good. I know that's so hard. There's only 3 of you. You guys are doing really, really well. That's excellent. All right, now let's try this crazy cuckoo part. It really is cuckoo. So seconds, when you come in on your cuckoo, you'll be on that C, which you will hear from this altos, and first you'll be on third above. So on measure 22, right? So hum your notes, seconds. And first, hum your note. And altos. Beautiful. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right, good. We'll go over those parts. I just want to see, running start. You guys are doing great. Yeah, it was pretty good. All right, so, altos, let's start with you. You've been nice and patient, so start on your cuckoo. So rhythm is going to be the thing for you in the counting. So where I heard it start to come apart was we have that 7/8 bar. So we're in 6/8, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, it's really only 1/7/8 bar, but somehow it seems sort of terrifying and, I don't know. So don't let it throw you. Try your line with your words. 1, 2, 3. Come in. Yeah, so let's just do that. That's great. And I think you're all getting the fact that you put the coo on the last of your little grouping of notes. So coo, 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 coo. Yeah, it's all, you're getting it. It's great. And then you have that one little tie in the measure in the 7/8 bar. Coo, coo, tie, coo, coo. And then you come right in. That's the thing. So at the end of the 7/8 bar, you have to get a quick little breath and come right back in. Yeah, that's it. So let's do that. We'll wait a moment. All right, got it, Julie? You got it, Julie? Got it? All right, let's try it from the cuckoo part. Let's go a little slower. Bless you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, coo, 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 coo. Yeah, good, good, good. So this one is different. So measure 25 is coo, 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 coo. Yeah. So can we do that one? So we're starting at measure 25. Here we go, altos. So 25, not 24. So 25 is where it changes. We go coo, coo. Then you go up. Yeah. So start there again, 25. Yeah, that's it. All right, great. So I didn't go on, and it's already 9 o'clock almost. So that was a review. Sorry, I wasn't able to get to the end of that on page measures 27. Let's just do a quick sing through of it. Just do your best. It's O Word of Fear. We're going on. It's the very bottom, so you've all just done. So let's just get one thing in. So soprano ones, can you start at measure 25? Uh-huh. I just want you to find your word. I want you to find the first note of the next, of O word. So measure 25 and breathe. Come back to the same note. And 1. One more time. And 1. Coo, 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 coo. On your own. One more time. Keep going. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh. Yeah, just so you know how that goes, right? So you got there. Seconds, let's do your lead in. Thank you for indulging me a few moments. I just want to make sure you get a lead into this. Seconds on cuckoo, measure 25. And 1. And then, yes. Now there's 8 of you. Hello. 1, 2, again, and 1. Coo, 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 coo. Oh. Yeah. All right. Without me. And same place. Breathe. And word. Yes. All right. And altos, you already did yours. So can we do that? Measure 25. So altos, soprano 2, soprano 1. Here we go. And then we'll see if we can just sing really quick, and then we'll be done. And let's see. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. rest, rest. Sorry. Unison. Unison. All right, and then it goes back into the cuckoo stuff. Take a breath. Oh my gosh, you guys are amazing. I'm going to stop you there. Thank you all for your very hard work. We dove in and dug out some notes. Did great. You did great.